Hello, you all. Welcome to this new edition of Lectio Musica, the place for great lyrics, great music, and great meaning. My name is Guylain Prince. I'm a Franciscan friar from Canada, and I love rock music for a long time. Hard rock, metal, and prog. And in this particular series, we are looking into the last album of the symphonic metal band from the Netherlands, Epica. And their last album was called Omega. So let me give you the screen immediately. So this is the 11th song. Next week I will do, I would say, an overall appreciation of the album that I like, you already know. But this week, after doing the reaction video earlier, I now do the analysis of the song. Don't forget, you can subscribe and you can push the little bell right beside so that you are notified as soon as there's a new video on the channel. As for now, this is the 11th song of the album Omega. It's the 8th studio album of the band Epica. The composers are Epica and Isaac, and the lyricist is Mark Jansen. No surprise in here. So now the song, I suggest if you haven't dig into the reaction video, I suggest that you go and listen to the reaction video and come back here for the analysis of the song. So there it is. There's a majesty. There's, I would say, it begins with a single note chord that suggests mystery, some kind of mystery. But then there's a very classical opening with a victorious, epic feel, mainly due to the presence of the brass section. There are bells and choir, which are, I would say, the stereotyped way to bring grandeur to a song. And here enters the metal section with a very steady double bass beat. The rhythm, something changes then, and the rhythmic section of the metal band will adopt a very classical way of playing it. I call it a classical partition, a little bit like Rush. It means that the drum is not, I would say, normal rock. Steady beat, going a little bit by itself with the bass. No, it's really punching on. It punches the melodic element played by other instruments here, a whole string section and or a choir. So and then really a head banging tempo, which is a little bit slower. Really, I would say, traditional metal beat, and then come the verse. The verses are given in a very precise fashion, in which they say that there are three sections in this song. The first section is called the Omega point, the point of arrival, we could say. So here you can see the words: enigmas of the universe cannot be known without a search. We will find out that all roads lead to one, to Om, to one. I made a lapsus here, in fact, it's a good one. To know the wonder of the soul, we should go with the cosmic flow. Life is a labyrinth. Find your way home. You clearly have, I would say, in one paragraph stated clearly what is the overall view of the universe that you will find in pretty much everywhere in the albums. We come from somewhere, we go somewhere, and this place we go, the Omega point, is where all roads, we say in French, toutes les chemins mènent à Paris or à Rome. Here, all the roads, they go towards the same destination. Now, on your way, there are a labyrinth inside your heart and outside that might lose you in a way, but if you go directly to what you really are, you are destined for that. And this is attainable by search. You search for something, it will be given, something that will be repeated at the very end of the song. Let's continue. Nothing much to explain. If you've been with me for a little while, you already know everything that has been written here. Same with the growling paragraph by Mark. Rise with me, transcend the shifting maze. Shifting maze, of course, shifting maze can be, I think, is first of all inside and outside. We will talk about these obstacles we have inside and outside of us, and the shifting maze is both inside and outside, I think. Day and night we hunt for answers hiding deep inside, dark and light. These are the ends we can't unite. Okay? We can't unite is repeated by Mark. Black and white will free the way for us to see that we are dancing in duality. We are progressing in duality. I think there are two levels. There's light, dark and light. These are things that we can't unite, as if outside of us there's night and darkness. But inside of us there is some shadows and some glimpse of light, and these can be united. These can be brought together like we saw in many of the other songs of the album. So there are, I would say, basic principles that are opposite in the universe, but deep inside the soul, there are shadows that can hide away to our own oneness and our own destiny, I would say. And this is part of the freedom we can get on our way. So we will free, okay? There is a small inter here. It's a recall. I don't know if it's the appropriate word in English, but the fact that we recognize very well some parts of the opening. I would call the opening, if I'm not mistaken, it has 3 sections. The instrumental opening, and it's a recall of section 2 and 3. We will see that section 1 is repeated at the very end. I wrote the 3rd section with the rhythm section playing in classical fashion, like I said, when I presented the opening. So I love that section, to be frank. And then we go to the following verse. This is something is not of a surprise. Expose the corner of the mind, do scourge edges of the sky, but don't fly higher than you dare to fall. Truth lies buried under dark, you see. Yet souls do rise from cosmic heart, a brush of red and white celestial art. I'm not certain I understand everything in the symbolism we have here, especially the second half. Just a small note first, that melodically, each verse is in fact a repetition of a cycle that we call A here. So if I wanted to be accurate, instead of just A here, I would write A. Because it's the repetition of the same cycle musically here. So expose the corners, the little section of the heart and the mind that we don't normally expose at the edge, soul here being the sky, and don't fly higher. So don't try to overdo it in your spiritual journey. Higher than you can fall, you dare to fall. So I would say go slowly on your journey, and everything will be fine, and you will grow and everything. But don't try to just jump to the destination immediately, because it will not be successful. The truth lies under the dark. We talked about these the darkness inside the heart, not being the darkness as being bad, but as more like I would call it the unknown in the human heart. Is yet the soul rise from cosmic heart being the center of the universe, and the souls they rise from there. A brush of red and white of white celestial art being the cosmic heart, and the red being the souls. On this, I would say the red waiting to become white in a way, to join the cosmic heart. Now in growling, you recognize rise with me before the end of days, as if really there's an end to the universe. We can call it physical, material universe. There's an end. Rise with me, probably the deep cosmic heart or the deep soul calling, I would say, a more superficial being to the oneness. You recognize I would only see repeat the two last sentences will free the way for us to see that we are dancing in duality. So this will free a way, okay, to understand that we cannot bring together things that cannot be united, but we have to find our way within that. We enter the second section, the haunts of the barrier. It comes from the Tibetan book we talked about earlier in the book, in the I would say the path of the souls at the end of I would say the physical life. There is a section, an area where souls are trapped, and there are haunts at the barrier, blocking us from going to the oneness, the destination, the final destination. So I would call this adversity, spiritual adversity that we might encounter. Well, in the Tibetan book, it's really presented as obstacles or adversaries on our way to oneness after death. Personally, I prefer to talk about spiritual adversaries that we can. I don't think we meet them only after death. I think we really have to cope with not only with things happening inside of us. I think that there are things happening outside of us which could be a barrier to a greater version of ourselves, spiritual one. But anyways, this is how it is understood here, because we're really talking about some of the songs about what happens at the end of the physical life or earthly life. Now we have explicitly by the choir and mock and few back vocals ravenous haunts of the barrier in way to devour our souls. Now you see it on our way to oneness. Again, here is an intricate paragraph, beautifully well done. Mark and growling with choirs, the men's section of the choir answering with Simone that she enters for the two last lines. This is a place of fighting. Okay, so defend by force. Spiritual force is understood here, is implied. This I don't know if the omega here means that the spiritual force is alpha, or if it means that from A to omega, from alpha to omega, we have a path to follow and to find. So I think that this means that we are and we have to cross. There's a path. And there are barriers or false ceilings, fears, that we have to go through in a way. We talked about those fears within the heart that we have to let the true self come out of that sphere, blocking the evolution in a way. Don't defy me. Enfin, this sentence is not perfectly clear for me, to be honest. Don't defy the alpha, don't defy the origin, don't defy what we truly are, maybe. Within spheres, so we talked about the spheres, and embrace your fears. We already know that the fears have to be embraced, understood, so that they can, if they are understood, they will trigger or they will open us or ourselves to new portion of our being. That's how I understand it. And this power coming from our fears will open the way to the omega point. Here is a very important paragraph all by itself, musically, I mean, higher, reaching for the sky, reaching for the oneness, reaching beyond the sphere where there are the hounds, okay? Driven by nature of desire, craving for more, the positive craving for better, for being greater. Ignorance will fertilize the liar. So you already know that all the album is based on knowledge, understanding of oneself, understanding of the universe, and that ignorance will keep you back, will keep you within the spheres. This knowledge will free you. Oh, and this ignorance will fertilize the liar, both ourselves, sometimes lying to ourselves, but also the liars outside, being trapped within a sphere. Living on the edge, guided by the fools that we admire. Here, the fools that we admire are people keeping you away from who you really are. Just listen to me. So probably here Mark takes the voice of the deep soul, or the deep one, the deep self, the deep heart of the universe. Listen to that guide inside of thee. I wonder if it's only a matter of rhyme here, or sometimes Mark uses that as a collective I. I wonder if it's not the meaning here. If you have any advice on that, just tell me. But he likes to use sometimes the thee, the thy. The third section, you have the apocalypse of the illuminated soul. Here's a blend of two words, or two tradition. Illuminated soul, you know that it's more of the extreme Orient traditions of Buddhism, Hinduism. Apocalypse is, of course, a word that you'll find in Greek of the New Testament, but also the Jewish world. It means the revelation of the illuminated soul. So the soul will appear in its full disclosure. Primordial force, sound of the universe. The basic sound of the universe, the force from within the universe as being the heart. We talked about in one of the first paragraph, I think I made a mistake about and one. Yeah, that's basically it. The that connects you to the noise, the basic noise of the universe. I think here Epica works on both levels, the scientific level and the religious level, I would say. And here is a bridge on a straight, and I wrote here a relatively simple beat compared to everything else. There's a guitar solo. It's a variation of the themes that we heard. So sometimes he will bring back the theme, and then he would add some with a fioriture on that in French. Very well done. I like the tone of his guitar in general on this album. Here is, I would say, half a verse. You remember I told you that there was the cycle for every for every verse. There are 2 cycles. Here you have one of these 2 cycles. An inner journey to be made. Another ego is at stake. A revelation for the soul tonight. We understand every word of this, I'm pretty sure. So there is a journey inside ourselves and also a maze outside ourselves to go through, an adversity outside ourselves. So we have to make our way through our destination. Mark, repeat, rise with me before now the light decays. So it's a beautiful way to turn it a little bit differently than the world come to an end. You remember in the second one. Again, we have what we call the chorus repeated here, and the 2 last sentences are reveal the path we can ascend and spiral towards oneness in the end. We understand after what I said a little bit earlier. There is a section here, an inter, again, that we have. It's a recall of the opening with the rhythm section playing, I would say, classical partition. You already know this expression now, with the double bass beat. But then we move to the recall of the very first section. You remember the epic opening with the brass, the choir, the bells. This is a reminder of that section, and it becomes the background for the final statement of the song and of the album. And so this section is behind what you will read here. We will last forever. So we are eternal, as our essence never dies. Okay. Find the deep buried wisdom as you go on your way. Open your senses. Here are spiritual senses, not only physical senses. Reach out and you shall receive. Of course, it's a play on words here about ask and you shall receive. Here it's reach out. So do yourself the work of reaching out, and you shall receive. So here the search and you will receive, which is one point of I would say, disagreement I have with the album, but this is, I would say, minor. So let's see now the just a one word to say that paragraph is the finale, because everything ends, the album and the song, with the last words and the chord resounding in a great hall with a little bit of echo and so on, and that's it. The album is finished. It finishes on these words: reach out and you shall receive. Now, the appreciation of the song in terms of structure, this is a structure that we have seen many times with Epica. The ABC structure, ABC, and then D, E, F, G, which is basically the second section. And we come back for the third section with the ABC, the bridge itself, and the finale. So it's an epic conclusion of the album. It's well composed. It's written very well. It's a great album, so it's a very well conclusion. The opening becoming the final foundation of the last section, the 3 sections with a focus, the 3 sections, section 1, 2, and 3, and the second one being a focus in the middle where there's a fight, there's adversity towards oneness, is it's pretty much, I would say, the transition between the omega point and the final opening of the illumination of the soul. So we have to go to the omega point, and there the soul is illuminated by reaching the oneness. In terms of lyrics, themes, phrases, and global understanding of all the songs, we have here all the keys of all the songs, and the songs explain themselves with that one. So it brings everything into focus. It's well done, well done. Now, in terms of meaning, the destination of the soul, I write more soul than souls. Even the word souls, plural, is written there, because basically the human heart or the human soul, singular, is the universe soul. And the souls, the individual souls, will kind of disappear on the way to the destiny or destination. So the I, the ego, will reach the destination of being one with everyone and everything. And there is an internal labyrinth, a maze also, the human heart, but also outside, which has been written, whether you like to express it as a maze, labyrinth, or roads, all different kinds of roads, that all these roads, they lead to the same destination. Whether it's inside or outside, it's the same challenge is to find our source, to find our destination. The opposition from outside is in section 2, and the I would say the maze inside the human heart is more in the section 1, when they talk about, okay, if day and night are opposite, impossible to unite. There are some opposition, I would say, but the soul can proceed through its darkness and grandeur to unite and reach the destination. So it's a quest for the greatest of ourselves, in which there's unification within ourselves is possible, because the darkness is not bad, and the grandeur, the light inside of us is not, I would say, moral goodness. I would say there's light and dark, there's known and unknown inside of us, and unity has to be made of our heart, even if outside of us there's a path to light versus a path to darkness, that are irreconcilable. I understand and appreciate the quest for meaning and signification of Epica, really. I do appreciate that. I will say a few words about my general review of the album. This is something I truly love of Epica. My answer understanding, of course, I'm a Christian. So, of course, I don't share everything in the vision of the human soul and human mind and the universe, but I appreciate the attempt we have in Epica to make sense of our, I would say, busy and crazy lives. It is an excellent conclusion to a great album. So this is it for my appreciation of song. Don't forget, I expect from you reaction down here in the comments section. Our journey will end with the last album of Epica will end next week. It will have been the 12 series, 12 weeks videos. So next week will be the last one on the whole album as a global review. Vacation time for me, it's time to go on vacation. I will reconvene in August with a small series, I call it Introducing. I will introduce you to a new band that I absolutely love, and we will have 5 videos about them. The band is called Lilac. I will take my time, 5 weeks, to look at their covers and to analyze some of their songs, especially their original songs. It will begin somewhere in August. We'll be there for 5 weeks, and so I want to make something a little bit different in the summer, and we will come back with Nightwish to finish our way through the last albums of Nightwish in September. I think it's mid-September, somewhere there. The premiere of the video, as always, for now, but it will change in August, but for now it's still Wednesday, so it will be done next Wednesday. It will be nice to see you all, to chat a little bit before August arrives. Saturday, the analysis of the same song in English, like this one. Don't forget, you can subscribe, push the little bell, and you can be part of this beautiful journey of great music, great lyrics, and great meaning. My name is Guylain Prince. I say bye-bye to you, and